In this video, we're going to discuss registering your individual youth and adults for resident camp. From the Scouts BSA resident camp page, which is available in the mega menu under camping and Scouts BSA camping, you can find everything you need to know about Scouts BSA resident camp, including links to the summer camp brochure, as well as direct links to each of the campsite reservation and actual camp week registration links. And these are different links. For reserving your campsite, we recommend doing that as soon as possible during the year by clicking that link. And it's a fairly simple process to put a down payment on your campsite reservation and do that online. And you can also call and do that in at the council office as well. But I want to talk about councilware registration for individuals. So during the springtime, there is a date set where registrations and fees are due. And when you click on the councilware registration button, you'll get to this event information screen. This is the same screen you can get to from the council calendar as well. And it's a shareable link. So I encourage units to consider copying this URL and sending that out in emails. Everything on this event page is something that you can find in the summer camp program and leader and parent guide. However, a lot of parents and scouts use their phone for much of their information gathering. And this site looks good on a mobile device as well. And there's a lot of nice information. One, you can see the different pricing, and you can see some registration information at the bottom, including dates. And then these dates are dummy dates for a demo week. You can see a little information about t-shirts and leader fees and emails. We do recommend gathering participant emails from the scouts. It's not required, but there are some benefits of doing that during the registration process so that scouts can log in themselves and see their information, or parents can log in and see different information about merit badges that have been earned and things. You can see the location where camp is. There are resources such as contact information for Sam Mensinger, as well as links such as back to that summer camp information page we were just on, the BSA health form, and the parent leader guide. It's the program that has a lot of information about the different merit badges and some of the activities that occur at camp. And when you click more information on some of these, not only can you see the session times and who the class is for, but you can also get information such as the requirements. So this is not the full merit badge book, but it's the requirements at the beginning of the book. There's even a little worksheet that you can click on to work through requirements. These resources are very helpful especially for prerequisites. If a badge does have some prerequisites, you'll see the sessions here again, and down below, you'll see the prerequisites for those badges. And again, all this information is in the summer camp guide. However, the merit badge book and requirements and worksheets are not in that guide. So this is a nice place to send your scouts to who want to be very prepared for camp. During the registration process, you'll also see the capacity and how many are enrolled. So you will know ahead of time before going into the system what merit badges are full and what has openings. So again, this is just kind of the event landing page for anybody can view, anybody can go here. We encourage scouts and parents and leaders to look at this page and look at the information. When you are ready to register, when you're ready to let the council know what individual scouts and what adults are coming to camp, click register online. And then one of the important checkboxes that sometimes is missed is you do have to say that this is a unit registration. So unfortunately, there's no way to avoid, but you have to click that button. And then from this list, you click the quantity of how many people you're planning to register. You're not entering any information for these people yet, but you're just providing a quantity. So you'll put the number of youth you're bringing. To make this easier, I'm going to put one youth in, and I'm going to select pay down payment. So we have a zero down payment process because many units do pay. They'll do the registration, put a zero down payment, and come pay by cash or check in the office to save fees, and that's perfectly fine to do that. It is possible to complete the registration and pay all your fees via credit card or e-check with a small fee, and that's also doable, but many of our units choose to do the process with zero down, complete their registration, and then go pay by check in the office. And you'll do your youth participants. There's even pricing for crossover scouts, which is more important whenever the regular fee ends and you're in the late fee time period. We don't want to punish scouts that were just joining the unit recently. And so those crossover scouts that have just bridged over from Webelos can therefore get the regular price. There are 2 free leaders allowed for each unit, and you can select your 2 free leaders here, as well as add other paid leaders, including day visitors as well. There is no smart indicator. This is kind of an honor system that you're only going to do your free leaders. If you select 4 free leaders, the council will know and give you a call, but please try and just do the only 2 here. So I've selected one youth and 1 leader, and we're going to go and register a group here. So we're going to click the bottom blue button at the screen. So now you're sort of entered your cart. So you have this little order that's been started. You can see you also have an order up in the upper right-hand menu now. And you can see with the items you've purchased, but you see that our payments are 0 because we selected a 0 down payment. The best way to think of the workflow of how this works is everything that's red means you need to complete this information before you move forward. So the first red bar is to add information for your group registration. So this comes from that little checkbox we checked earlier. And by the way, if you do work on this process and you come and delete the group registration, unfortunately, that will delete everything. So please do not delete your group. You can delete attendees if you added too many in the beginning. You could go and delete them. You can also add more attendee slots here with this button. So anytime during this cart registration process, you can add and delete most anything. You just don't want to delete that group registration because that is where the hub of information is for your entire registration. Also is a good time to mention that once your unit starts a registration and has created a full registration for your group, you're only allowed to register once. And I know that could be kind of annoying, but everything once you register can be added to, amended on the back end through your dashboard. The reason we have lockdown where you can only register once is that if we were allowing you to go in and register for multiple times or have multiple leaders register, that would create separate dashboards for your summer camp week. And that means finding all the records and the merit badge information for all of your scouts would all be in separate areas. So the only way to keep that all together in one place is to only allow registration through the cart once, but I can assure you that everything else can be done through the dashboard, and we'll make a separate video to understand how to go to your unit's dashboard once you've been registered. In fact, if you really wanted to, you could actually create a group registration and not add any youth or adults. You could simply just create a youth registration here, fill out the information, click order, and then you would be able to do everything else you needed to do on the back end through your unit dashboard. So once we go through this order here, we want to add information anywhere it's red. And so this is where you would add your unit. You can even do a unit lookup to make it a little easier. So I'm going to put my unit in here. Now I'm going to use a pack, but obviously you'll be using a troop. And we're going to select that information. Once you've put this information here for the group information, then you don't have to keep repeating it for every single scout. You can amend it if you are bringing a scout from a different unit. It might make sense for their merit badge records and things to have their actual unit listed. But in general, for ease, most of your scouts are going to be from your unit that you're registering. So you can put it in here once without having to put it in multiple times for everyone. Even if you have your address listed in the back end, for some reason, there's a problem where you do have to always put your address in here. So you'll put a contact address here. I'll put a dummy address. Good. You'll save. And once you save all the information, you know you've put everything in you needed to whenever you see a no more red bars. And then you'll move. So now I'm going to go down and continue to add information wherever I see the red buttons. So I'm going to go into the youth slot here. And again, you'll be able to see again that this is a youth participant that you need to enter. So you can put the Scout's name in. Email address is recommended, but not required. And we'll put the Scout's phone number in. Here you see the home unit did pull in. So if you added these slots ahead of time when you were doing the first page there, anything that you entered then will then fill in the same unit. But again, if you had a Scout from a different unit joining you at camp this summer, you could change their information here without changing the group's registration. There may be a slot for emergency contact that will be required depending on the decision that's made for that year for an emergency contact. And then additional information, there's a place to put a t-shirt size. Youths receive 1 free t-shirt, all youth participants. So we need to make sure we get sizing by clicking there. Now there's not an automatic stop if you don't click a size, unfortunately. So if you don't put a size in there and you register your whole unit of 10 youth, we may have to give you a call to get t-shirt sizing. So just be sure to add t-shirt size to the list when you're going through here. The additional t-shirt, I sort of recommend, unless you're paying by credit card, to not order an additional t-shirt here. Or when you go under the adult, ordering additional t-shirts at this point in time, there's no good way to make a 0 down payment. So if you were planning to go in and pay in the office, it's probably best to keep it all 0 here, not order anything here, and do that in person in the office. The office staff can add t-shirt orders that are paid to your account so that you can pay all at once. That's probably the easiest way to do that. And so then we're going to save the information, and you'll see that that red bar is gone. You can still go edit information if you got something wrong, but now it's edited. And we've got the adult attendee. We're going to go in and do this then. Just very quickly, we'll add their information there. The pack information is there already. And again, the adults do not get a free t-shirt. So you can pay here. I would only do that if you're planning to pay everything online by credit card. If you're going to pay in the office, I would probably just leave that blank and have a list that you can order those in the office. And so now we've gotten to the point where all the red add information bars are gone. And again, you're going to have a long list of all of your youth and adults. And then we've gotten rid of all the add information. You've got all the information in you need. You can proceed to checkout. So click the green button. And once again, you'll find your information here that you've already entered, and you can agree to the terms and conditions. You can see that because you put a 0 down payment on here, that you've got a 0 balance. And so you're not going to be charged anything at this point in time, and you're not going to have a credit card pop up. If you are paying by credit card and you do have the balance here, there will be a place here below to add your credit card information. Works very much similar to Amazon or other online shopping. You can even save your credit card information and pull it up from past purchases. But in this case, we have a 0 down payment. Now, let's say you were planning to have a 0 down payment, but you did have a item payment due here somehow. Well, that must mean somewhere you didn't put a proper thing to edit the information. So one thing you can do for youth where you were choosing a 0 down payment, even though they may have a $300 charge, you can change the payment button here by clicking this, and then you can go in and change. So if you were planning to pay by credit card and you wanted to pay, or if you wanted to do the 0 down payment, you can change all of that there. And that way you can get yourself to that 0 payment amount if you're planning to pay in the office. Again, you'll agree to your terms and conditions, and then you will place your order at this time. So go ahead and make that order. And it says, thank you for your purchase. You will receive an email receipt to the email that you have on your account, which will give you a link to your unit dashboard. But some other things that you can do from this page, you see where it says view your order details. You can click here and you can get a entire summary of what you just did. And it includes your group registration. It includes all of the youth participants that you entered, including their balance. And it includes all the leaders you entered. So it's just a nice little summary. And by the way, when you get an email, you'll get this same link, so you can get this from your email as well. And then you can go into the office now and you can let the office staff know that you're ready to pay, or at any point in time when you have the money, you can pay by credit card or e-check if you'd like. You can also see buttons for view a dashboard. So this is a unit registration. So when you view this dashboard, it takes you to your PAX dashboard for this particular event. And we're going to get more into what to do with this dashboard in other videos, but just wanted to give you guys an idea of what links you're getting once you're registered. These dashboards will go to the individual person that has been put into the system. So now you're under that attendees dashboards, and you as the person who has registered them has access to this attendee dashboard. If you had placed an email for that youth when you did the registration process, then that youth would also have access to log in to their email and their My Council account. They'd be able to create a password, and they would be able to see their information as well, including their balance. And perhaps in the future, there might be even workflow changes where you would want your own youth to go in and make credit card payments on their own or make e-check payments on their own instead of doing it as a group. But most units do this as a group to make sure that all the fees get in and get done in time. But there is a lot of information that the youth can get to, or parents can get to, if there's an email for them on file. And I just want to back up one more time. You can see that you can also go back to your My Council homepage from this. Thank you for your purchase. This gets you back to this dashboard where now you have under your My Current Events, you'll see the Scouts BSA resident camp that you just registered for. And it's just another way to get in to your details and to this group dashboard, as we showed you earlier. So that is the process of getting registered for summer camp, including how to do credit card payments, how to do a zero down payment and pay in the office, how to register all of your youth, how to register adults. In a separate video, we are going to be discussing the unit dashboard in more detail. So for example, if you registered 3/4 of your scouts, but you now have the payment and are now ready to register a few more scouts, or you have some day visitors that you'd like to register, you can do this all on the back end through your unit dashboard now that you're registered.